Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, brought to you by Shawn Porter Promotions, live from Los Angeles.
I dig it. Let's go.
It's time for the main
I was like, let's go. I was like, is somebody coming in? I was waiting to hear, by God, that's Stone Cold's music.
Nah, nobody's coming in. What's up, fellas?
Nothing, man. Yeah.
Holiday weekend?
Yeah, we went official, me and Carson.
Yeah.
80s party. We had to hold it down. Porter didn't make his appearance.
Nah.
Me and Carson had to hold it down for the podcast.
Yeah. I thought we did well.
Yeah, we did. We held it down.
Why did you have on what you were wearing? The head made sense, and then after that, like it just you lost me.
That's how he dressed in the 80s.
That wasn't what it was. It was a prom. It was like prom.
It was 80s prom / 80s.
No, when you was getting
Okay.
money.
Y'all started like flexing it.
No, he's talking about the
flexible.
invitation. That it was
Yeah.
initially mentioned as 80s prom.
You know, I don't want to know if I should say this or not because I know my mom watched this.
Well, let's do this. Because here's the thing. It was a party for a young lady. So that's why prom was on the invitation. But
Oh, what? I'm supposed to dress like that?
yeah.
But then, in all fairness, the young lady whose party it was didn't end up dressing 80s prom either. So
I think she felt like they went to the prom like that back in the day.
nah.
No, I felt like I was a drug boy in the 80s on the corner.
I pretty
getting
much-
money.
That's what you look like.
Okay, that's what I was going for.
Yeah,
Thank
there
you.
you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I pretty much just dressed up as my dad.
Hey, I ain't gonna say too much, but I got that from my dad. Mom don't get mad at me.
A lot of time, hey, you leave stuff so wide open. I'll be having so many questions going through my mind, and then at the end of all, I'll be like, "Don't say nothing. Don't say
Yeah, I
nothing."
pretty much just dressed up as my dad.
Yeah. Hey, I
like
actually,
your fit.
I more look like all my uncles in Louisiana. Yeah. That's more like. Hey, I got uncles in Louisiana have Jerry curls till this day, and they're bigger than me, and rock Jerry curls until this
Hold
day.
it strong.
Whoa,
Yes.
what they do like for a living?
That's commitment.
Can you say?
Hey, yeah, man. They draw. They legal. They drive log
all
trucks. You know,
right.
they do Louisiana stuff.
Yeah.
My brother down there ain't got no Jerry curl, but
He do or
he don't.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, they rock Jerry curls. That's their thing.
Yeah.
So we mentioned the holiday weekend, and my question is, so they have the 4th of July hot dog eating contest. Joey Chestnut is a multiple time champion.
Oh yeah, I know the name.
So it's 10 minutes. How many hot dogs do you think he ate?
Oh Lord.
I mean, I know, so I ain't gonna say nothing. Okay.
Oh, you know, you watched? Y'all watched?
I didn't
watched
watch
that.
it, but I saw the
it's
numbers
like,
come
how
through.
Was he in the twos?
No, 200?
Yeah.
He would be dead.
Okay.
He set a new record.
Hey, you told him to guess.
76.
Sean went
Yeah,
wild.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy. 76. 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
I mean,
He thought you was gonna say like 12
Yeah.
or 20.
I was going to say like 50.
okay.
Is he in the twos? I was like, wait a
Yeah.
second. Yeah, that's a lot of hot. What? So if you were
Hey, but he slapped me in the face and said he would be dead. I'm like,
200 hot dogs in 10 minutes?
You're right.
76 is a lot.
Yeah, hell yeah, it's a lot. I don't like hot dogs that much.
Was he putting down the dog and the buns?
Absolutely. You got
And they
Dip
were
him
going
in
like,
water.
oh,
No,
yeah.
you dip it in
Yeah.
water. You got
Yeah,
to
you
dip
got
in
to
water.
dip them in water.
Yeah,
There's a
been
whole-
say-
a whole
yeah, I've
strategy.
seen
We should have a hot dog eating contest on the show. Me and Carson.
So my question is, I hate hot dogs. My question is,
I did a hot dog eating contest one time.
Did you?
Yeah, downtown Cleveland.
Okay.
And I don't know why. Like I
did
ate.
it?
Yeah, I think I ate 5.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I probably would eat a couple and be like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
What would you? I have a guess on what yours would be, but
Oh, you already know what mine.
if you had to eat
All day and all day.
one thing for an eating contest, what would you eat?
I actually was in the eating contest I was real fat as in Louisiana. They have a thing called a corn festival. I was big in that.
Corn?
A corn festival, yeah.
I could eat a lot of
And
corn.
I entered the corn festival.
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun,
I held
dun,
it down.
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, you could just knock them. Oh yeah, I was knocking them down.
Yeah, I can see
Hey,
that.
as
many
a
you think
7-year-old kid with adults, I held it down. Came in second place.
Oh,
go.
dang. How many do you think you eat?
I think I knocked out like 22.
Dang. Were they like?
Just regular corn on the cob?
Regular size.
Dang.
Yeah, they wasn't them little ones.
Somebody talked about it recently. I used to hate when you had to prepare the corn on the cob and take like the little strings off. I was
Yeah.
like, man, this is a tedious ass task. You guys
Oh,
would do
yeah.
chocolate chip cookies.
100%, and I would win.
What would I eat now,
I think
Carson?
I think mine would be like
I'm
pudding.
not stopping.
I was also thinking like a good like meatball, like a good meatball and sauce. I think I could do, but pudding I think would be my go-to.
I would say chicken. You know, my uncle told me the reason why he didn't want to talk me into this. Matter of fact, he still got Jerry curls to this day. That's the same dude. He
salute,
said,
salute to the Jerry curl.
hey, my uncle said it's free. It's free food. Let's do it. I said, hey man, this dude is smart.
Yeah.
So we in there just for the free start.
Just start stuffing corn on the cob into your pocket.
It's free food.
Oh man,
Why wouldn't you do it? It's free food.
Oh, I couldn't eat that much, but yeah, I think I could rock with like some pudding or some meatballs.
I think cookies is like that's it for me.
Yeah, especially because
I
you
did
can
the
dip it
hot dog
and you can dip it in the
before.
milk. That's
I
actually
ain't probably not wasting my time. Like I'm getting.
You're not
at
even
it.
going for the milk?
I'm letting everybody know off the rip, just like a fight. I'm here to win.
You got to get some moisture in there somewhere.
Yeah,
You're gonna mess around and choke.
Yeah.
You're gonna end up coming out with a crazy voice.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. There's no question you would. And that was my guess. What yours would have been.
So no karaoke on Saturday.
Nah, you the karaoke guy. You didn't come, so we ain't
Well,
get the
Mac was
karaoke.
there.
Yeah, he did his thing.
Yeah,
you know,
we had
Mac
a good
held it
time.
down.
Watch
seen
the
him.
fights.
I saw him dancing.
Oh yeah, he was up there wild and had a whole DJ set up in my house.
Yeah, lots of good food.
Yeah. I had to tell him, I said, man, turn the music down. Like,
There were a couple of times because Aunt and I were watching the fight, and I would say something to Aunt, and he's like, "Huh?" He's like, "Hey, Mac, turn the music
yeah, I'm
down."
like,
It
yeah.
wasn't like crazy. Like there wasn't that many people there,
But I
so
couldn't
it
hear
didn't need to
Carson.
be- It didn't need to be like up crazy, but
I saw a video of Mac. It'll probably get in there, right there where we were just talking.
Yeah, just throw Mac
Probably
in there.
or just finished watching it. By the way,
yeah, he was getting down. But no, it was a good time. We had tacos, some barbecue.
Yeah. Good thing I guess he didn't show up. I mean, he had a big fan in the house. The one guy really liked boxing.
Yeah,
You know, yeah. As one guy has been waiting to meet Shawn.
Oh,
and
man.
literally every time he comes to my house, Shawn doesn't come. Every time Shawn comes to my house, he doesn't come.
that's a shame. Good fights though. I think we enjoyed the main event. The co-main was interesting
co-main was solid.
because I'm not too familiar with Rivera. And so I'm like, okay, he's undefeated. He's supposed to win. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting there talking. I look up and he's on the ground.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
But then he ends up putting him down with a nice 1-2.
The Hernandez kid, strong.
Yeah.
I actually watched his fight last year when he fought on NBC. He fought in the very first main event on for Ring City.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And then so it was cool to see him back on TV, but I hadn't know much about this Rivera kid.
He's supposed to be pretty
Solid.
good. Yeah.
He looked pretty solid.
Everyone gets put down.
Yeah.
You can speak to it. Tell him, hey, it happens. Motivation Monday.
Man,
Tell him.
sometimes you just never know when it's coming.
Yeah.
It just
Hey, it doesn't matter about how many times you get knocked down. It's how many times you get up.
Bingo.
Stand up.
What was the D Wade fall 7 get up 8? The Converse.
Yeah,
The
so-
Converse slogan back in the day.
So, yeah. Shawn been down 2 times. He got up 3.
I got you. I see what you did there. You catch it? There was a water incident in the corner that was.
Oh, no. I was talking about Adrian Broner. You out of line.
Oh, you said
You didn't go down on that punch.
No, definitely
you
not.
said he got knocked down twice and got
Errol?
up 3 times. Yeah. And
Adrian Broner.
yeah, so that's 2 times.
And he got
How
up
did he get
3.
up 3 times if he didn't go down 3 times?
He don't know what he said.
I
from
thought
the
it was a
beginning.
nice little bar that he
Hey,
was like, yeah,
hey, so 4th of July.
He's just getting off of it. But
I thought that's how it
Chris
goes.
Colbert, main event.
Oh man,
That was a great fight.
Yeah.
I thought he was
Action-packed,
going
shit.
to dance around that dude, stop him. Nah, my man was here for a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
King Tug was not messing around.
yeah. I don't like to say too much before fights. I feel like people think I'm hating when I say so on and so forth. But I thought that Tug would be there, and he
Yeah.
was.
100%.
You know, and I thought he won just 2 rounds
Yeah.
out of the entire fight.
I was
But
about there.
He made it tough.
I mean, the more and more I watch fights, the more and more I just really love when it's a competitive fight. I really don't care who A side, B side is. Never did for myself, and I never do for anybody else that's in the ring. You know, there's certain guys that I'm rooting for no matter what. And once things start going downhill for them, I'm like, what's going on? You
Yeah.
know, but for the most part, man, I just enjoy a competitive fight. But I mean, Chris Colbert, I can say he has the best jab in boxing and feel comfortable saying
I
that.
feel like you say that after
Took the title from Devin Haney.
Yeah, I know. Every time we watch a
No, I
fight.
did I say that?
Yeah, they said that on DAZN. And
But I feel like you said that
He
recently.
did
though.
disagree. But
Yeah.
Chris Colbert's got.
Oh, with that
Colbert's
shoe, with
They're right there.
Devin Haney
Yeah,
and,
they're right
Chris
there.
Colbert gotta be right there.
And is
Yeah.
everybody down there in the 130s?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dang.
Yeah.
I thought we were done with talent down there.
I thought it was interesting with. I can't think of the round. Maybe the third, and King Tug kind of got Colbert on the ropes and was letting some shots go. He was landing some shots.
Yeah.
And we were all kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
But then I think what that did for Chris was he realized, oh, hey, the power's not there. And so he was like, okay. And then he immediately walked him back down. And then for the rest of the fight, he just kind of walked him down.
Yeah. The thing, gotta go back to the jab.
Yeah.
What I love about his jab, and I think is a little different from Devin Haney's, I'm not gonna pick who's number one and who's number two.
Yeah.
But they both have
the elite of the elite.
Some of those are the best jabs in the game right now.
Yeah.
Of course, with some others, but
Sure.
his jab is just so effortless.
Yeah.
It's almost like I compare his jab to like a singer that'll just sit down
And just
like
rock it out.
hit the notes and do it. Like it's effortless
Yeah.
for him to throw a fast jab and hit somebody.
Yeah.
I know me, I have a couple of different jabs, and so when I'm fighting, I really do select
Think
what jab
about it, yeah.
or I see what jab should work at a certain point, but he's just got this fast. It's got a little snap on it.
For sure.
It's not
one of those that like is popping you back
but
every
it's just
shot.
he's gonna touch you
Yeah.
every time he
Yeah.
throws it, and I love it. So I'm watching the fight, and I'm just like, damn, this jab is crazy, and I don't think that his tug is helping him land this jab because he does not have the head movement or the reflexes and things like that. I'm like, that's just a great jab, and let's make sure we talk about this when we do the show because that's a great jab.
It got to a point where Chris knew he wasn't getting him out of there. And he started boxing.
Yeah.
So I got to box this guy.
Yeah, and we've mentioned it when it's lopsided, just scorecard wise, like you said, maybe wins 2 rounds, maybe 1, maybe 3, somewhere in that range. It could be a fight where it's just a blowout and it's like it's boring. But King Tug, the way he was there the whole night, it wasn't one where we're like, okay, like just knock this dude out and get him out of here. Like he was strong, he was sturdy. We talked about it before, and he had 1 loss to Gary Russell. So I mean, it's not like King Tug's a bum and a late replacement.
Yeah,
but
when did he get replaced? How many weeks?
I think they said a week and a half. Maybe
That's
maybe
pretty
10 days.
impressive to be
Like,
ready
yeah,
to
like a
go
week
and
and
fight tough like that in a week and a half.
And a shout out to Chris Colbert. We mentioned it last week, but I think it was a tougher fight than Gamboa would have been. I think he would have stopped Gamboa.
Man, you always hate on Gamboa, man.
I love Gamboa. Prime Gamboa. I love Gamboa. But
You're not getting that Gamboa no more.
no,
I think
yeah,
it was a tougher fight.
yeah,
than
because I think Gamboa would have. I don't think he's as sturdy anymore, just because he's been through some of those wars and has been down quite a few times. And I think it would have been uglier.
Yeah.
Like King Tug didn't do a ton of like holding or anything like that. And Gamboa, I mean, we saw against Devin Haney.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell he was doing for some of that fight. He was trying to throw figure 4 leg locks and
Chill, man.
And to Devin Haney's dad, Bill,
Yeah.
to his point, I just gotta go back to this real quick. I was really mad at Jorge Linares for not turning it up. I was like, man, you should have done way more than you did. Yeah. And we're having a conversation. He says, no, man, you got to remember who he's in the ring with. He's not just gonna go at Dev. Nobody's gonna just go at Dev. And I thought about it as I was like,
Gervonta Tank Davis is.
Well, no, what he meant when I'm going to speak to what I saw in this King Tug fight. Tug is right there, but he turned it on, but he could only go so high.
Yeah.
And there may have been points where you're like, okay, maybe right there, but a little more pressure, and you might win this round. But what am I seeing across from me?
Yeah.
This dude's got a fast jab. He's got quick feet.
Got some pop.
He's got some pop. He can move. All of those thoughts will prevent me from doing what I can do or what I should do.
Yeah.
What a lot of people expect me to do. To Bill Haney's point, when I was expecting Jorge Linares to really pour it out, especially the dude was hurt.
Yeah.
Like he's looking at Devin Haney. Devin Haney, fast jab, quick feet.
Yeah.
We didn't know he was gonna, hug and hold as much as he did. We thought, or at least I thought, that his defensive game plan would be to move
jab.
away from Jorge. But on the other side of it, Jorge's looking at everything that he's got to get through just to land a punch or to get there, and it doesn't happen. And I think the same thing with King Tug the other night.
Yeah,
King Tug fought a very good fight, especially with 8 to 10 days notice. But
that was impressive.
it's still so much talent on the other side of those of the other side that it's like, it's just so much that I can do.
I'm okay seeing him, and I already see Chris in there with somebody.
Yeah. I am too. After this one, I am.
And there's some really interesting matchups. The one that they kept coming up, we always obviously side of the street, but the one was Leo Santa Cruz. I think he stops Leo, but that'd be a really fun fight. You talk about his fight versus King Tug being action packed.
Yeah,
nobody's ever left a Leo Santa Cruz fight and been like, man, there was not a lot of action in that one. So,
yeah, because him and Tank fight was amazing
100%.
until up to the
then
boom.
Yeah.
Murder She Wrote. But
Like that fight.
it's a really fun fight.
And I really hate that we do this matchmaking, Because
it's a boxing
Well,
podcast.
boxing, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, we do this and it's like,
and it never happens.
Yeah.
It rarely happens.
Hey, shout out to Canelo. You see who he's calling out? My man want everybody.
who we calling out?
Yeah.
Errol Spence, if he moves up.
Better BF if he goes back to
160? They'll meet
175.
at 160.
And then, so that's the thing. He says he's not moving back down to 160. So where the hell you think you'll meet Earl?
Errol's just gonna go all the way up.
I
to
think it's
160.
fair if you meet him
I
at
mean,
60,
let's be
but
fair.
if you meet him at
Errol
68, it's,
Errol can crack. I mean, Errol could go up
To 168?
168. That's a big step
Yeah.
because you're going up. Obviously, it's 3 weight classes you're going up, but
For the right amount of money, I think people
yeah,
use. Yeah.
and he's not. I wouldn't want to see what happened to like Colbert happened to Errol, where it's too much too fast, and then you kind of you break your orbital bone. But
Let me explain that real quick, how that happens. When you move up a weight class, and we've been through this before about how you lose weight to get to a weight class, even with losing weight to get to a weight class, your body over time adjusts to the weight class that you're fighting at. And so it kind of mentally, you turn everything on, and then your brain gets everything else to operate to get down to that weight class. So once you start getting there, your body acclimates to that weight class. Your muscle definition is not the same, which means your power is not the same. Speed, so on and so forth. So once you move up, your body's acclimated to 147, hypothetically. It's not acclimated to 154. So probably a quicker acclimation because you walk around at a heavier weight anyway. So if you're doing things like weightlifting, workouts and stuff, strength and conditioning,
Feels natural.
and all that kind of stuff, your body will acclimate to that much quicker. But now you're talking about 160. Now your body's probably got some work to do. You're talking about 168, you definitely got some work to do in order for your body to acclimate at that weight division and be able to perform at that weight division. So,
and also mentioning 168, like going up to 168 to fight a random person is one thing.
Yeah.
Going up to 168 to fight
Like
the pound for
the
pound
pound for
best
pound
fighter in
king.
boxing is that's tough. But and I think kind of in that sometimes it's better like if he went to like 154 or 160 and then 168, then you can kind of ease that a little bit. But
Yeah, I don't even see a role for Earl to get all the way up there.
yeah, and honestly, I'm not sure it's necessary. Like, it's cool. Like, it would be a great fight, biggest payday of his career.
Yeah.
Would I like to watch Errol and Canelo? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But
not overnight. I
but
want to
eventually
see it
maybe.
overnight. Yeah.
Yeah, you
The
get
only
there.
thing about Earl, he's done fighting at 147 unless he gets Crawford.
Yeah,
He's not going to fight his boy at 154.
Charlo.
He's not going to fight his other boy at 160.
True. Yeah, it could end up being a domino of where it's like Jamel moves up to 60, Jamal moves up to 68, and then Errol can fight at 54. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I guess.
yeah,
Yeah,
but now Canelo, he's not messing around. And then
We
one
used to
thing,
do that back in the day.
Just
And the-
kinda
and the
like-
amateurs, like Cleveland, like
Yeah.
we had so many top guys coming out of Cleveland. All right, we'll wait they fighting that, and then you try to figure
I'll
out
go
where you're
there.
gonna go. Yeah, Dre Ward fought at 178 at the Olympics, weighing in at like 170, 172. But Andre Darrell was at 165, so it was like made it
kind of
happen.
trying to find out where you need to
Yeah,
get in to fit in. But
Yeah.
before we move, there is, like I said, a good fight coming up this weekend. But interesting. So we talked about replacement fighters. So obviously King Tug was a replacement fighter. So quite an ordeal in boxing recently. So the original schedule for Showtime: Guillermo Rigondeaux, John Riel, Casimero. Donaire steps in, Rigondeaux steps out. Now, based on VADA drug testing, disrespectful comments to Donaire's wife,
Oh man,
Donaire says he's out.
we ain't doing money. We ain't doing business together, huh?
Yeah, he said we're not doing business together. And so guess what's happening now? Rigondeaux's back in the saddle. So
Still a good fight.
yeah, it's not the fight we wanted because I think Casimero and Donaire would have been funner, or more fun. But just a very interesting
yeah.
you're out. I mean, it was like musical chairs kind of on figuring it out. But
You know what I told you on Saturday? Why we get the rematch?
yeah, he said Donaire and the Monster.
Like just already.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be the winner.
Because it was
of-
going to be, the winner gets,
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah.
But now maybe you just skip that.
Yeah.
And the winner of those two face each other.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be, it's funny though. It's just like, I mean,
I could see that happening, and I would love. I am starting to see fighters take more control of their careers.
Yeah.
but that is really, I think, a matter of the fighters just really taking control of their careers. You know, Donaire's at a point now where it seems like he can call out whoever he wants to call out, and, and make those fights happen. Everybody knows that the fight's gonna be exciting. It's gonna have the draw and the money that you would expect. And I would love to see him respect. He's gonna do respectfully. I would love to see him respectfully say, "Hey, anyway, I'm not fighting Casimero, but let's get in here and let's do it, and let's do a rematch, And if that's how the monster feels, as you call him, I
like how you
to
keep
see
saying
him.
as I call him, like that's literally his nickname.
Because I only know him as
you.
Yeah, I only know him as anyway until I
so-
heard you talking about we got the monster coming.
like,
We
who
got the
else the
monster coming. I'm over here on my phone like
Who's the monster?
So if that could be made and the fighters could take control, again, I think that would send a message to other fighters in the world as well.
One interesting thing about that, not to dwell on a potential matchup, but it was a really good fight, Donaire, in a way. I don't hate seeing it again by any means, but like he had a broken orbital bone and still beat you.
Here you go.
So it's like I get it, and people were like, "Hey, it was a really good fight," and I was like, "And he broke his orbital bone." I was like, "Yeah, but he broke his orbital bone and still lost." Like,
but that's
when was the
greatness.
last?
That's greatness.
100%. But when was the last time we always talk about broken orbital bones and they lose?
Oh yeah.
I mean, can you name another time off rip that somebody broke their orbital bone and won the fight?
Jack Johnson in 1922.
And the comments will be filled with 100 of them. But like every time,
If Shawn was here,
he'd know it for sure.
yeah,
But
1876.
I mean, it's like B.J. Saunders, Kelbrook.
Yeah.
Kelbrook.
Hey, chill, bro.
It's just like we
This
always
dude wild, man.
because we always talk about broken orbital bones and we're like, yeah, it's tough. They end up, either retiring on the
Kel
stool
Brooks,
or,
the face for orbital bones.
yeah, he's he's pun intended, the face for broken orbital bones. That sounds so unpleasant. But so I think it's like, was it a good fight? Sure. Would I like to see it again? Absolutely, because it's action. It's two great fighters going at it. But like, you broke his orbital bone and in a way said he was seeing double and still beat you. So take that with a grain of salt.
Oh, so I said that's greatness.
Yeah.
And
it is.
It's greatness on both sides. I mean, obviously we speak to the monster, greatness to, keep it all together, ignore whatever pain that may have even been there. You see it too, and you
Both of them.
find your way through. You find your way through and you win that. But then on the other side of it, and Donaire understanding that one adjustment, two adjustments. I'm not saying it's that easy, but that's where the greatness lies.
It's like I gotta get that get back.
Yeah.
Especially after getting making history with the title. Not that Donaire was like dejected and didn't have the confidence, but like now you really got the confidence. You came out, made history.
Yeah.
And so now it's like maybe I'm feeling even better than I was the first time. But, should be interesting. But the Casimero Donaire thing was strange. I think Casimero probably stops Rigondeaux. But now Rigondeaux's like,
come on.
Oh, now he's got me fired up. I'm like, okay, I'm like, fair.
Did he say that?
Nah,
Yeah, he said now.
Did he say it
what he
like
said?
that? 'Cause-
He tweeted like now he's got me mad too or something to that effect.
Oh, okay.
But is what it
I
is.
don't know if I've ever seen him say two words.
He also speaks Spanish.
I know. I'm just saying. Like, I don't think I've ever seen him do a post fight.
Who are you talking
I
about?
thought he was African.
Who Rigondeaux? No, he's Cuban.
He looked at you like,
Yeah, I was like he's Cuban, so he speaks Spanish. And I love
don't embarrass the podcast.
But you keep
man.
talking about me loving Gamboa. Like I love the Cuban. You know that.
Yeah.
I love the Cuban fighters. Like
I've never seen an African speak Spanish.
Yeah, that would have been a whole plot change. But yeah, I love the Cuban fighters. But that era of Cuban fighters is towards the end.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
Wow. There's one coming.
No. Well, that era there was
like
what,
Rigondeaux, Gamboa,
Yeah.
Lara,
Yeah.
like that. Those guys are kind of going. But,
Yeah. Wow.
And so this week, DAZN, this is one of the better cards in a while that I've seen as far as overall quality.
Yeah.
So the main event, Gilberto Ramirez versus Sullivan Barrera. Gilberto Ramirez can rock. Undefeated. I think this is maybe his third fight at 175, but he's had a little bit of a layoff. But Barrera, like his loss, I think he lost to Jesse Hart, which he's kind of like involved in a couple of these guys. Like he lost to this guy and that guy.
Right.
I mean, his loss is like he lost to Andre Ward. Like nobody's like, bro,
I'll take that.
bro, you lost to Andre Ward. You're garbage. Like Andre Ward, that's a great.
That's
if there is a great loss to have, it's Andre Ward.
Yeah.
But Barrera's going to be there, and Barrera's a guy that at 175 can test you. And I think Ramirez, like, he's really good. He's a guy that I think
He's solid, right?
Yeah.
Like just
He also looks a lot taller than he is. I think he's only 6'2", but he looks really tall.
Yeah,
in
6'2".
fairness, he was fighting at 168.
62.
But he looked really tall. I think he's just kind of lanky. He's got good reach on him. But so that'll be a good test for him to kind of see where he's at 75.
Right.
But the co-main is interesting. A guy we talked about before. So Javier Fortuna,
Right.
who's supposed to fight Ryan Garcia, fights Jojo Diaz now.
That's a good fight.
That's a good fight overall.
Let me open with my criticism.
Uh-oh.
Every week, my weekly criticism usually is directed at the WBA.
Oh, no. Or it's you getting double shows.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
It's
what I
also
thought.
true, but let me make, and this is on Friday, so they really shout out to DAZN.
They heard you.
They heard me. But now it's the WBC. So the issue at 135 right now is who is the is Teofimo the WBC champ? Is Devin Haney the WBC champ?
Right.
So the WBC was like, oh, you guys are confused between those two? Interim title fight, Javier Fortuna and Jojo Diaz. So whoever the hell wins this fight, there's 3 people at 135 that can claim their WBC champ.
I got like 3 interim titles. The interim just kind of
It's just unnecessary.
puts you in line.
Like,
for,
can we just maybe just word it as a title eliminator then? Like,
yeah.
it just it feels forced and it just feels unnecessary.
So when I fought Berto, it was a title eliminator. That's how we
I
worded
text
it.
you.
Yeah, that's how we worded
Yeah.
it. And then when we came back and fought Granados, it was an interim title. So
yeah.
they did the best they could.
yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just weird, but
Yeah.
that fight is interesting. We talked about
I'm sorry to cut
No,
you
go.
off, but they need to figure out what they're gonna do with this Teofimo
Very much so.
and
Make 'em fight.
and Haney situation. Make them fight.
Yeah.
Make them
fight
fight
each other.
But they got to figure that out.
Yeah.
And remember, I said that about shoot,
sounds like 2 words. But
the
wait,
dude I fought, the Cuban that I fought.
Oh,
Ugas. Excuse me.
The WBA.
I said that about Ugas with the WBA. I said,
That going,
sorry.
This is getting crazy with that too.
oh yeah, they're also going to like a panel.
Yeah.
and they have to determine if Pacquiao's gonna be reinstated.
And also Jamal James has a belt.
Yeah,
Ugas
Yeah.
has a belt.
Yeah.
Are we gonna reinstate Manny after being off for 2 years?
let me be the spoiler alert. Yes, they
Yeah,
will reinstate Manny.
I know.
And they're gonna do the vote, and everyone's gonna be like,
I hate to, I mean, I hate to be the one to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like publicly just trying to be funny, but
Yeah.
also being serious.
Yeah.
And for real, when I said, sorry, Ugas, but it is what it is.
So, hey, sorry, Jamal James too.
yeah, and they're gonna do the Ring Magazine
Hey, my
title
man got a belt.
potentially.
He's a WBA champ
yeah, Shango.
He one of them.
at 147.
Yeah. he won
they're also thinking of doing the Ring Magazine title for that, which typically is
Oh, I seen that.
number 1 versus number 2. But sorry, bud.
For who?
For Pacquiao and Errol.
Oh, between, okay.
I mean,
oh, wow.
I'm not crazy. Like,
No. That's
it's-
work.
you're-
That's
yeah,
what's,
you're right.
what's
Yeah,
supposed to
you're
be.
right
Yeah,
there. People
for
are
sure.
like, well, it's not 1 versus 2. It's like, well, number 2,
It's really 1 versus 2.
Yeah, but the so you have this stupid WBC interim title for this fight, but I think the matchup's interesting. We mentioned before, and I think Zytel, shout out to Zytel wherever you are, fighthype.com.
RP. I'm gonna pour some water.
Pour some water out. But we mentioned Fortuna.
He ain't dead.
No, he's not dead.
Yeah, why?
He'll be back.
So he's put out
allegedly.
water, you know.
Yeah, it's different. That's when they're absent currently.
Oh,
But we mentioned like Fortuna, he might not be the guy at that division or one of the guys, but he can give one of the guys hell for a night. And so I think it'll be interesting to see Jojo Diaz. He left a little sour taste after his last F weighing in at the accurate weight. But I think it's a really good fight. I think it should be fun.
I think it's a really good fight. You got Fortuna, who's a little bit all over the place, unpredictable. He is strong. He's a strong kid. At 135, they're fighting at.
135, yep.
And I've seen him. He's fought at 140. So
That's what Jojo Diaz might come in at. To be
so
fair.
this-
dang. You're a white bully.
Which
You're a white bully.
oh, he called him a white bully.
No, weight bully.
Oh, weight bully.
Oh, no, I ain't say that.
in fairness-
Anthony did not say
in
that.
fairness, I am white and overweight, so it all kind of that is
I
funny.
thought you said
It is
white
funny.
bully. I was like, hold on a second. What?
It is
define white
it is,
bully.
whoa. It is funny to an extent talking about like I'm like, oh yeah, what's he?
I
Gonna
know,
come out?
they gonna
And I'm
kill
like,
you.
Yeah,
They
that's
gonna
fine.
kill
And I'm
you.
over here fat as hell. Like, yeah, I don't know. He really should focus on losing weight. But the no, so yeah, I think JoJo is. I don't rate him that highly. Like I don't rate him like as high as I even rate Fortuna.
Yeah.
But he's again, Jojo Diaz was the one loss to Gary Russell, allegedly.
This is right off of the top, but I think
To who?
Jojo.
Gary Russell.
I think Jojo
The
Diaz
mythical figure.
is a B+ fighter.
Yeah.
At the most A-.
Yeah.
But then you got Fortuna, who's a B fighter, not really plus or minus. He's just right there. And I've seen him on some really good nights. On some really good nights, he's a B+ fighter. So you got this is an evenly matched fight.
And Jojo Diaz beat Tevin Farmer, who's far from a slouch.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
So that should be a fun one. Kind of that division is, again, we've mentioned probably one of the top 3 divisions of boxing right now, if not arguably number 1. But it's just there's so many guys
147
like,
ain't making fights.
at the top. Exactly. There's so many fights like at the top like that are trying to figure out where who's where, and then we can play these fantasy matchups. So this just like whoever loses isn't done, but it allows whoever wins to be elevated to kind of that level.
Right.
And then one of our favorite fighters to watch, Sinisa Estrada. She's back in action. Super bad.
Who was one of my favorite fighters to watch?
Hey, my guy Rolly fight next week. I thought you were talking about that.
No, not really. Yet.
Okay.
But no, yeah, Sinisa Estrada going for a title at flyweight, I think. Her weight.
Are we getting down there again?
Well, it's funny. Her weight. So the one that Sinisa has the title in currently is it's like mini flyweight, but it's also listed as minimum weight, which is just funny.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm maximum weight, like Ant and I are maximum weight.
Maxed out.
And then it's like, yeah, but she's so she has the title, so she's moving up. I believe it's 2-weight division to fight Tensai Tsunami, I think is her name, or Tenkai Tsunami, who's had the title for a while, 2018 maybe. Yeah,
About to get taxed.
28-12.
yeah.
I love the name though, Tsunami.
Tsunami.
That's a pretty solid. It's a solid name for sure.
Solid name.
But yeah, she's had the title for years now. So if anything, Estrada taking on somebody who doesn't want to give up that belt that's had it for a while. But and for anyone that hasn't watched Estrada, was I wrong in saying she's one of our favorite fighters to watch? Because we all discussed after that fight that she can really throw. And a better commentator than you, some would say.
No, I wouldn't say you outspoke yourself.
Oh, that's when y'all didn't. That's when I didn't make the show.
Was it?
I don't remember you not making many shows.
Yeah,
I'm just here working.
When he ain't let
so.
me on. Remember?
Oh yeah. No, that was Serrano.
No, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That was
Why
Serrano.
you bring that up, man?
That was funny. But no, with the and then she stepped in when Shawn wasn't able to do the broadcasting
And
Ring
solid.
City, and it was great. So, yeah, maybe I'm the biggest fan, but she can really throw. She won a title in her last fight that we got to see, but so that's a good one. And I want to say I think there's another fun fight on there.
She's another one of those young ladies that we can speak to in terms of having coordination
And the skill set, you could see it was like,
Yeah, William Zepeda, who fought on that, another Ring City alum.
Yep.
You feel proud of these Ring City alums carrying the banner on?
I just like that I know these
You're
guys.
like, oh, I know them,
from
yeah.
being on
Ring City coming back.
Yeah.
Probably after the Olympics, I would guess.
Fourth
But-
quarter, I think.
Yeah, Zepeda fights, and then Sulem Urbina is another female fighter that I've heard some good things about. She's a Mexican female fighter, but yeah, I think that's a nice card. There's not really like.
Is this in Eddie Hearn's backyard? Where's this at?
No, this is actually at the LAFC soccer stadium,
Oh, nice.
California, which is one of the best stadiums I've been in.
You been in there?
Yeah, that
It's
stadium
nice,
is
right?
beautiful.
Yeah.
It was actually really cold the time I was there,
Yeah.
which is not. It kind of leaves that taste in your mouth, or that thought where I'm like,
Shout out to Brooks Lennon. I went there to watch him play a game.
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's a good card, and it's Friday night, which is kind of
What? Yeah.
different.
What's
Spices
your thing
things
with
up
the
a
Friday
little bit.
night? What's your thing with the Friday night?
because it wouldn't match up with a Saturday fight.
Yeah.
You know, he likes one fight.
Is there a
Yeah.
Saturday fight?
No,
No.
but if, just in
Yeah,
case.
that's what I'm
But
saying.
just
Like,
in
it's
case
just in
there
case.
was,
Yeah.
so they're
Carson wants his Saturdays
They're laying
free.
the groundwork,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Hey, if there was a fight, we were gonna be the heroes and fight on Friday."
Hey, what channel was the fight on this week? Was it Showtime?
Showtime, yeah.
That threw me off. I turned it on for Carson, and
yeah,
then
yeah, we
the
were
whole
confused.
time the tank fight's on. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They literally played
sat
the
down
whole fight.
Yeah, we sat down. And he was like, "They're showing Tank and Barrios." I was like, "Weird. Maybe they're just replaying it." We were kind of like, "Maybe," and all of a sudden it kicked into the live coverage. But they also kept showing one of the UFC fighters, and everyone that we watched the fight with said, "Who's that?" I was like, "I don't know."
Yeah. I didn't
They're pushing that though. God love
Bellator. What's on Showtime?
Sure. Yeah.
Hey,
I believe it's the shout out to Bellator.
Yeah, tune in to whatever fights are on Showtime. MMA.
Yeah, that's the only thing sucks about when we're at parties now and you're not there. People come to us for answers. So I need you to start.
What? So and I'm not there.
Yeah, like me and Carl supposed to be the experts.
I'm gonna start saying I don't know. Ask Ant.
The hell
Yeah,
nah.
don't do that. Said I ain't up for failure.
I'm gonna start saying I don't know. Ask Ant.
I like it. Yeah, no, there was they every time they showed him like, hey, who's that guy? I was like, some MMA fighter that apparently either has fought recently or is fighting again on Showtime. Speaking of MMA, Claressa Shields is gonna go back into the
One more time,
octagon.
huh?
Yeah.
I think on August.
That ain't nothing to play with. Don't keep playing with that.
Did she fight in the UFC brand? Is that
No.
that last one?
It's
was?
Bare Knuckles.
No, it's not bare knuckles.
Bare Knuckles?
No.
I thought that was the name.
No, I can't think of the name. I'm not that concerned with it. But but she's going back and apparently she kind of said, hey, that's where the money is. Like,
Yeah.
if I
She
can get
made more
paid-
money there probably.
Yeah, which is funny because a lot of times in UFC, when they fight in boxing, they make more money than they ever made in UFC.
Yeah.
But obviously in female boxing, it's just a different
women.
equation.
Yeah.
But no, so it's more power to her.
Yeah.
Stepping up, fighting.
She's grown and she's matured a lot. I think she's at a point now where she knows that she can command the money that she wants, and boxing is really much so still set in its ways of this is what you're gonna get paid, and I'm gotta figure that she's going over there and she's conducting the business well, and she's getting paid. So congratulations to her for that.
Yeah.
Before Claressa hangs it up, I just want to see her with a real rival, so they can really make some money.
The one that just seems to make too much sense is Savannah Marshall because they've kind of been going back and forth. And Eddie Hearn, God love him. I love Eddie Hearn.
Yeah.
But you know that.
He just keeps it going.
He keeps it going.
He keeps it going.
He's the master. And I was watching a fight with my wife, I don't know how long ago, and he does this whole like monologue after the fight. She's like, "Do promoters usually do that?" I was like, Nah, usually just Eddie Hearn. Like he talks his shit.
I remember
But
you told me that.
yeah, he I think he's good for the game in general,
He is. He's good for the game.
and he's having fights in his backyard, like you mentioned.
Yeah, that's pretty smooth.
Yeah, we'll talk about closer to time some of those fights, but
He think he's the UK Sam Watson. He ain't no Sam Watson.
that is a very funny comparison.
Shout out to the Watson
Hey,
family.
one day when I'm about to die, I'm gonna tell a Sam Watson story on my death grave.
What you mean? You got a Sam
I
Watson?
don't even think
story?
it's that crazy, but I thought it was
Yeah,
funny. We'll
nah.
talk
Yeah,
about
I
it
got a
eventually.
Sam Watson story.
Yeah, we'll talk about it
Carson was
eventually.
there.
Yeah, I was there.
Hell nah.
Why not?
Nah.
They want to hear it.
Yeah, I know.
They'll hear it
Don't
eventually.
y'all wanna hear
so
it?
once Ant's dying,
Yeah.
tune into the episode.
Oh, one day I was on the phone with Sam Watson.
We'll mention earlier in the week. We'll say, hey, Ant kind of took a turn.
It had nothing to do with me, right?
No.
Okay.
Nah.
Kinda, not really though.
Yeah, nah.
I'll
not really.
tell a quick Sam Watson story.
Uh-oh.
The day I was fighting Errol Spence Jr., he called and he said, "Hey man, I got Bobby Brown right here. What you want to do?" I said, "What you mean? What I want to do?" He
Sing?
said, "Sam." No,
I'm saying sing.
He said, "I got."
If it
He
is
said,
love.
"You want me to get this ticket for him or what? What you want to do?" I said, "Yeah, man. Put him by my people." He said, "All right, I'll call you back." Calls me back. "All right, I got you. He good." Da, 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 da. I said, "All right." I said, "Sam, why did I need to know all that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring him to the back room too." I said, "Yeah, make sure you bring him to the back room." I said, "That's all you needed to say when you called me."
Was that the day of the fight or the
Day of the fight.
Oh, hey, that could have been the same day I was on the phone. He had me on the other line talking to somebody. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Which also
No, it was the you guys fight mines.
was it? No. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Ugas for sure. But the funny about Bobby Brown, shout out to Bobby Brown in the verses.
Yeah.
Versus wine.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it real too. It wasn't what I expected it to be. I've only watched one,
Yeah.
and it was the Earth Wind versus Isley Brothers.
Yeah.
And they sung all of their songs beginning to end.
Yeah.
And so they kept cutting off their records.
Yeah.
I'm like, back in the day, the first verse got you ready for the second verse, got
Yeah.
you ready for the end, and y'all killing all they songs. Like as I started to get into them, so that really had me
That's
bothered.
verses though.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that, so I had a high expectation
Yeah.
based on what I saw. Steve Harvey was up there with the
Yeah.
Isley Brothers and with Earth Wind, and so it just was a cool vibe. And I was expecting the same thing, and I didn't really get that Keith Sweat and Bobby Brown, but it was still tight to see them doing their thing.
Two legends.
They were singing each other's songs too. That was cool.
What's funny is when I was gonna mention somehow Bobby Brown became a central figure in your press conference versus Errol Spence.
Oh yeah.
Which it was like it started off so like respectful, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you and Errol are not friends, but I think you guys are respectful, cordial.
For sure.
And so that's how it started. Errol, great champion. Errol's kind of like, hey, Shawn Porter, you tough guy, kind of does his thing. And then all of a sudden, it took like the sharpest left in history.
Cause this is why it took a sharp left. He likes to flex his
Hey,
muscle.
Carson, that's black people. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, stop going left real fast.
It took such a left.
He likes to flex his muscle, and I'm a ticket seller, and you're here because of me.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like a thing in boxing too.
A-side.
Like like you're here because of me, and I'm like, it's the big stuff don't get me.
We talk about competitive stuff.
It be the little stuff that get me.
Sure.
And so when he said that, I was like, hold on, Bobby Brown was in my back room. He was there because of me.
Bobby Brown was in the back, like, like, what the hell? But
I had met Martin earlier in the year, and I was like, hey, I'm getting ready to fight Errol Spence Jr. Make sure you're there. Da, da, da. So I knew he was good. I said, Martin was here too for me. You know what I mean? I was throwing out all the names.
And one funny thing, so we were all in that room. And obviously. So it really took like a serious left.
I still play. I play that like in my mind now.
It was just like very it went 0 to 100 so fast.
Yeah.
And the one thing that killed me, so part of it, we don't need to parse every word of it, but Errol was talking about going to the Cowboys Stadium, kind of getting love there. And then I have no clue why somebody I can't even think of who it was.
Don't even say it. Don't even say the name. We're going to call people on our team.
No. I know. I was going to say somebody on Sean's team, somebody with us that was with us.
I know who. Like,
yeah, I do too. But
right, cool.
they
why you say you didn't know who it was?
Because when Ant said he did, I think I do too. But for some reason, and this was the year the Browns weren't doing that well, and the Cowboys were like undefeated.
Yeah.
And so they were like, Cowboys like, yeah, Brown. What's the Cowboys record? And somebody was like 6-0 or like whatever it was at the time. Yeah. I was like, why did you even bring that up? Why did you they're arguing like, what's the Cowboys record? They're like undefeated. I was like, oh man, I just sat in the back and watched.
Then after that, it went sideways. Hey, I'm one of those people. I don't care if we together and you in the wrong. We'll figure it out in the back. But hey, while we there, we're gonna be in the wrong together. Yeah. I seen a man say something to a woman. I said something to a man. Okay, hey, don't say nothing to a woman.
I was literally all the way in the back of the room.
And Carson's like that. The Simpsons.
Bart Homer where he goes into the bushes. Because I was sitting there and I was like, because it was so cordial.
Carson is just
sliding right out of frame,
real slow,
right out of frame,
real slow.
Because I'm sitting there
and looking around like, is this really happening?
Because I'm sitting there and I was like, and I like Errol. I just so I was like, it started off.
It's cordial. A hard thing to
So just it was cool. You guys, Ant goes into a little bit more than I do, but when you go into a fight with somebody, me personally, I don't hate the other guy, or I don't dislike the other guy. And you've also fought a lot of guys I've mentioned that I like, and so I wasn't mad at Errol, but I was like, okay, the fight's done. They can go back to being cordial. We've played basketball with Errol, so I've been around where there's no heat. So all right, cool. They're complimenting each other. Everything's good. Then all of a sudden it's like, well, I brought Bobby Brown. And I was like, whoa. Then everyone started shouting. I just sat at the back like this. I was like, after we walked out there, somebody said, well, that went left quick. It wasn't Carson, it was somebody else. I was thinking it though. That was crazy.
Oh, good times.
Yeah. Good times. Interesting times. Just very. So we have some fan questions.
Hey, before we get to fan questions, 33 years old. I went hung out with some younger kids.
First of all, you said 33 years old, and I'm like, today your birthday?
Oh.
Happy birthday to you.
It's legit for the story. I text y'all Saturday. I said, hey, you guys want to go Go-Karts? Nobody responded. That's all right, cool. This is me hanging out with little kids, me with 14, 15-year-old kids, because I'm the cool one in the family that do all the cool stuff with the kids. So they come to town. They know, Anthony taking me to do something fun. I take all these kids Go-Karts.
When was this?
Saturday.
This past Saturday?
Yeah, we went to pole position. I went to pole position with you guys before.
Yeah.
That was a whole nother story.
If y'all won't, keep me up on stuff like that, because I ain't been,
Okay.
Anyway.
All right, so we go to pole position. These little Go-Karts go 45 miles per hour, but I've been there before, whatever.
Yeah.
So we go, we get back to back to back. I get 3 games. Well, first off, when I get the bill, I'm like, God dang. But all right, whatever, I already paid for it.
Yeah.
So we go 1, go 2. I'm like, I'm tired. Like, it's hot on the cart.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm big getting in there.
Squeezing in it.
Yeah, they loving it. Let's go again.
Yeah.
Hey, man, the second one, I go around the first thing. Get tired trying to adjust my seat. Boom! Hit the wall at 45.
Dang.
Immediately headache.
Dang.
Helmet sideways. I got a big scrape on my side of my leg right now.
And
His foot came out off the cart.
Hey.
He entered concussion protocol immediately.
Immediately, I got it. Dude's like, you good? Yeah. Hey, I was suffering. My headache was lasting for about at least 14 hours. I woke up. My headache was there till I woke up the next day.
All of a sudden, Jack Reese appeared and started giving him.
And then we went to virtual reality. No, that was before virtual reality, like Call of Duty, where your whole body strapped up with guns and stuff.
Yeah.
Man, we did that 15 minutes of nonstop fighting.
It's tiring.
And I'm like, and they like, we doing it again? No.
Yeah.
Done.
This is a one and done.
We haven't done laser tag in a while. There's not like a good laser tag place in here.
Not that
That's
I'm
what you're
aware
gonna
of.
build.
Yeah,
Showtime Shawn Porter laser tag coming soon to Las Vegas.
You went to that one when I first met you?
Yeah, and I didn't like it. So
We had ones back home that was like, it was a good time.
Yeah,
You were climbing up stuff and shooting people,
sure.
popping up. We used to have shout out to Dillinger, my cousin. He would follow his uncle, my cousin, around. So you'd be able to walk up and you'd be able to see him and shoot both of them at the same time because he was tailing them so close. I didn't pick the teams.
It is what it is.
But
my son to do the same thing until they get a little older.
Yeah, and Shadai's gonna get lit up just the same that Dillinger did. But
shout out to the fans.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
been a minute.
Yeah. So like I said, we got one boxing match this week or one card, so it's nice.
Hey, when the boxing gets back going, you think we can do a fans versus Porterway podcast paintball?
Tag. Oh, hell yeah.
Down for that.
Hey, y'all come in town, Vegas?
Yeah.
Hey, hit us up. And the ones that's in town, y'all versus us. We got a squad.
Yep.
Real talk. We can put something together.
Yeah, yes.
For Pacquiao Spence. It's here.
Yeah.
And we can put something together for that.
Yeah, I can make that.
Yeah.
I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
stay tuned. We're going to figure it out. How about that?
We'll talk about that. Might be one we can kind of
stay
do.
tuned.
A couple cool ideas.
All right.
But
I dig it.
So this is an interesting one for you. So from Instagram.
I'll hold up real quick because you were talking about paintball. Sparred on Saturday, get out the ring, and this kid is like, man, you got great footwork, man. And how can I get my feet like that? It's like every time I step over this and that. I said, man, listen, I've been doing this since I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
I said, so a lot of the stuff you see me doing, I just broke it down to him real quick. I said, you got to get your fundamentals together. I said, anytime when you watch a video of me, you always see my feet. Once one moves, the other moves, and I'm always back in position. I said, so when you see me, you see all the spinning and stuff like that, but it came from me working on the fundamentals and the basics of being able to step and always be in position. So now when I do my turning and all that, my feet are always going to be in position. I said, but the other side of that too is you're going to have to make a sacrifice. I said, you're going to have to start working and continue to work. I said, again, remember, I started doing this when I was 8. The fundamentals are there. I start watching other people, seeing what they do. I like it, and I take from. I said, I give you a prime example. When we go paintballing consistently, pretty good, do a good job. I said, but when we take some time off, and we start back going, I suck.
Yeah.
I said, so your feet are gonna suck until you start doing it consistently. You know, so just a little,
That's good. I like the analogy.
Get the question.
And I like tying it to paintball.
Yeah.
But so on Instagram, Miguel _. Who is the best fighter you've ever seen who never
Miguel
became a
III,
star
by the
in
way.
the sport? Could be.
Miguel the third.
Could be.
What did you say?
Yeah, you were too focused on correcting me.
Well,
In fairness, I'm going to mispronounce or misread most of these because it's crazy shit.
Let's do it.
So who's the best fighter you've ever seen who never became a star in boxing?
wow.
Out the gate with a tough one.
Yeah. I mean, I got names. I got plenty. The number one that came to mind, Juan McPherson from Cleveland, Ohio. He did everything that can be done as an amateur. I believe I might be wrong, but I think he won the Goodwill Games. He got into some tournaments at a young age in the open division when you're supposed to be 17 and up.
Yeah.
He was in that division at 16, beating guys, and then the Cubans found out that he was 16 and bounced him up out of the tournament.
Damn.
He was that cold.
Yeah.
So when we talk about Cleveland, I know we always rah-rahing about Cleveland, but Cleveland has some guys that you probably have never seen.
And did he go pro?
No, he did turn pro. Pull up McPherson's record. He did won McPherson.
But he
turned pro, but yeah, I mean,
never connected.
He just couldn't connect the dots. Yeah, he had a lot of personal things going
100
on.
fights.
And, yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot of fights.
Anybody who's been in the MC PH ERSON, yeah, he's one of those guys that anybody in the amateur program, I'm sure Andre Ward knows about McPherson. Could probably have him come on and tell some stories. I'm pretty sure Dre has been in the ring with them, and Darrell's been.
Would you almost consider? I know I don't want to discredit him by any means, but would you say the way you guys speak of Andre Darrell, that he might be one of those guys that he never became like the elite of the elite, but the way you guys talk about him back in the day, he was. I feel like dude back
even if we talk about Ward, I feel like Ward didn't really get the shine that I personally feel like he deserved. But even when I take my personal bias out, I feel like he didn't really get the shine that a lot of guys who've done everything that he's done could get or should get.
Juan McPherson, 7-0.
7-0 as a pro, but didn't really, didn't take it as far as he could have gone. And, again, a lot of personal situations that I don't really want to speak on. Yeah. But Darrell was one of those guys too.
Solid nickname. The
Darrell,
Magic Wand.
Yeah, I was looking at it.
That's solid.
Yeah.
Darrell had the situation where he got hit in the back of the head. I think it was when he fought Frampton. And I think that just kind of railroaded.
Who fought Frampton? Carl Frampton?
Yeah.
Andre Darrell?
I think it was the Super 6 series. It may not have been Frampton.
You thinking of Froch? Carl Froch, maybe?
Wow, I said Frampton. I meant Carl Froch.
I was like, man, that because I know we talk about like you versus Usyk. So I was like, was this in the amateurs?
Yeah,
That's
excuse
crazy.
me. Wow, now I caught up to who I
Froch.
said. Yeah, Carl Froch. Excuse me. I think it was Froch, but
okay.
I don't want to put dirt on anybody's name. But whatever the case may be, he suffered a injury during the Super 6. Let's just keep it there.
Yeah,
and I don't think things really formalized for him after that. So yeah,
he was supposed to be
kind of.
Like that dude, like back in the day.
So
him and Boo Boo.
I take it personal when you talk about when they talk about Lomachenko as being the Matrix.
Yeah,
because Andre Darrell was the Matrix.
It's crazy. When I first really got into boxing, he was one of the first people outside of Floyd and Mike Tyson that I really heard of.
That's funny.
He was like, there was a lot of hype behind him.
Yeah.
That's what the way they always talked about him was he was the guy. Joshua Woodall 7. Who's the best prospect in boxing? One from the U.S. and one from the U.K.
Golly. Why you gotta
we've been neglecting the fans. And now we're going aggressive.
Say it, brief me first.
So I let me throw out the one I would say from the U.S.
Yeah.
I don't
prospects.
Yeah, Boots Ennis. I don't.
Okay.
Boots was the first. I'm not jumping on that, but Boots was the first one that came to mind. But I just feel like he's beyond being a prospect.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Even though he's not, he really is.
He can fight a top guy.
He's in
100%.
a prospect position.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how you determine prospect.
He really is in a prospect position.
Star of the future.
Yeah.
Somebody did something recently where it was like pick one of these guys to have for the next 10 years, and it was like Ryan Garcia, Tank, Boots, Virgil Ortiz, Shakur, Devin Haney, and I was like, Boots.
It's got to be Boots.
Boots is the best.
Boots is in the position of being a prospect, the guy who is not in world championship caliber fighting yet, but he is the guy of the next 10 years.
Yeah. He's going to start UK, Conor Benn.
I like Conor Benn. We talk about him offline.
I'm telling you, Conor Benn.
He's the first one that came to mind.
He does a great job of balancing
Granados.
He's gonna bounce Granados, but Ben does a great job. I've told Shawn that he's very confident, which I like.
Yeah,
but he's not disrespectful.
Yeah,
sometimes you can like kind of
he can get a little.
You step across that line every once in a while, but he's not like he's not disrespectful in general. So he's got this passion. He's hungry. He wants to fight these guys.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I understand it.
Yeah,
maybe that's why I dig it.
Yeah, it could be because he just doesn't like some guys when they're in that position where they want to fight the top guys. Like he mentioned you.
Yeah.
But he doesn't say like, F Shawn Porter. He won't fight me. He's a bum.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, Shawn Porter's fought world class guys. It's a bit of a step back for him, maybe. Like I get it. Like I got to get there, but he's a fun fighter to watch. I think he is going to absolutely annihilate Adrian Granados.
Yeah.
I like Adrian Granados too. He seems like a good kid, and he kind of had a tough run as far as some decisions. But
I think
technically he should be undefeated.
I think Conor Ben is the future for the UK, especially in the welterweight division.
Yeah.
And I won't speak to us fighting. I'm 95% sure that fight won't happen. But I will speak to the fact that I did an interview with the UK guy, and just kind of thinking on my toes, I had already done some interviews saying, hey, he's calling me out. He's calling out some other guys, slow down. You're not quite there just yet. And did an interview with the guy, and I said, well, hey, I just want to let him know your eyes are bigger than your stomach, And that, when I said that the first time, I was like, ooh, I like that, right? So I start playing on it. Like I said it like 5 more times in the interview. Then I see an interview where he said, Shawn says my eyes are bigger than my stomach. Well, hey, guess what? I've got a big appetite. I was like, ooh, I like that.
Little battle rap.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, okay, you got a big appetite. Take it easy. If you take it easy, make the right fights at the right time, you are the future of the UK.
Just keep pushing.
That's our respect and all of that.
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of his, and I look forward to watching that. Yeah. We said about all the prospects. Just keep taking steps.
And he's the first, he's the first guy who comes from the lineage of a champion and shows the promise of being a champion in his own right.
Not Cesar Chavez Jr.
Why you do that?
There's just certain guys that need shots taken at him.
Is he the most disappointing fighter ever?
Damn.
You're
disappointed like right now.
That is
yeah,
lofty,
man. He has to be.
I don't see you not smile often.
If you look at it from the sense of expectations, where you come from, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is one of the best fighters ever.
He's regarded as the greatest Mexican fighter of all time.
And he's in you have the elite level fighters ever, he's there. Mm-hmm. So I guess if you look at it from there, and I think
that's crazy. He's regarded as the number one guy in Mexico, in Mexico. He is regarded as the greatest fighter to come from Mexico. And his son.
And to an extent, like in sports in general, but
like
also
go sing
but
or
also
go dance
boxing.
or something.
Because I'm looking at it like I don't like we can use like Michael Jordan's kids. Okay at basketball, not great. That's fine though. I don't say Marcus Jordan, you better be as good as Michael, but like Chavez Jr., like there was just so many like stupid things he did. Like he kind of would quit in some fights. He doesn't make weight. He does this. He does that. So he's.
But he had a lot of expectations coming up.
100%.
It's kind of like Bronny. Bronny's not going to be LeBron.
Yeah, and that's why I was speaking to Conor Ben. Like he's gonna have the name because of his dad and everything like that. But he really is backing it up, which is cool. So
he's a great fighter.
Entertaining dude. I like him.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a food. We can end on a food related.
First time I publicly said that. We talk offline about it. Yeah.
Who else you like?
So there was actually let's do 2 more. One of them is quick. But so one was the David Morrell Jr. fight. It was actually on right after we got off. I
actually meant to talk about that in the next show and we forgot.
Well, this is the next show.
Yeah, well, we didn't talk about it. It's the end of the show.
So. Yeah, but here you go. This was Ray Blanco D, maybe. I don't know. But they just said thoughts on the David Morrell fight. That ended with a bang is an understatement.
And I'm going to keep it real. I have a problem with boxing and how boxing jumps on international fighters much quicker than they do the fighters that come from right here on our own land. We see these Cuban fighters. Yeah. Morrell is 5-0 now, I believe. Maybe 6-0.
I thought he was more than that.
What is are you paying attention?
He's paying attention.
Morrell?
He's a professional.
Can you pull him up?
David Morrell Jr.
I'm not saying I boycotted the fight and I didn't watch the fight. I watched the fight and I liked what I saw from 5-0.
5-0, okay. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking he was more.
And does he have an interim title? Does he have a WBA title?
Here you go. Why y'all sitting WBA?
My point is, how many U.S. fighters are going to be 5-0 getting that opportunity? How many fighters going? I think he got the belt when he was 4-0.
Okay, so he has one of the 74. I think it is.
So I'm just what I'm saying. So a lot of people, there's a lot of hype and things around him. He's backing it up to this point, but. He's not really. He's still 5-0. So he's got a belt, and you're gonna have to move him much quicker than you move a lot of the guys.
He definitely has a WBA.
Hey, that fifth win. He got that dude. He got him out of there.
Yeah. But again, I mean, who's in the ring with? So.
But he laid him out. Though.
I don't mean it to be disrespectful.
28
he
seconds?
looks good. Let's speak to him.
And the dude was undefeated that he fought.
Yeah.
Again, not like.
Let's speak to him. I mean, he looks good. At 168, I believe, right?
Yeah, 168.
Yeah, he looks good.
Southpaw.
I believe him to be the part.
Yeah.
But he's got some growing to do. You know? So.
Yeah. So last one.
And again, to my point, I just don't think that
the U.S. guys maybe get that.
Promoters and managers really.
Probably fair.
Did we get titles that quick?
I can't think of one because the other guy I think of is Lomachenko, who got his in like the third fight.
And again, to my rebuttal for myself, I understand that a lot of these guys have so much experience as amateurs.
Yeah,
they're like they don't want to wait, and the promoters and stuff like that don't want to wait.
Yeah.
But when you have the Cuban, when you have that morale around you coming out, you can. I don't think
morale was the right word.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Aura. Yeah, when you have that aura around you, you can come out and say, hey, I want a belt quickly. And they're believing you because you are Cuban, and they believe in you because you have a lot of experience as an amateur.
I'm a big fan of Cuban fighters. I will be forever.
I know you are. You like them?
Yeah, no, I do. I like them. The knockout was sensational. Anytime you put somebody out like that, folded I don't know. We always say like folded him like a lawn chair, but he really did. He just kind of like boop, boop, and he was done. Yeah. But I like him.
Was it first round?
Yeah, it was like a minute or something into the first. Yeah. But so last one, we started off with food. We'll bring it back to food. Michael Raymond, 323 official. What is Sean's favorite pizza? I don't know the answer to this, even though we've been friends for many years. You pepperoni guy? You classic?
I'm coming with a story.
Okay.
Oh God.
God, man, I'm 8. My brother's 9. I'm scarred for life. Okay. My dad, I don't know why, we're about to leave for a national tournament, and he decides that he wants to have pizza the night before we leave. We're 8 and 9, and we got to make weight. Like, I'm scarred for life, man.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna make my son have to make weight.
Yeah.
Neither of them, But because we got to make weight, what my dad say? Just take the toppings off the pizza, eat the toppings. Don't eat the whole pizza. Don't eat the cheese. Don't eat the crust.
That's
I'm 8 years old.
Like just smell the cheese and throw it in the trash.
So I like the works. I like everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a supreme. Would that be your style?
Yeah.
What about you, man?
Meat lovers. All day,
guy?
baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
You say I'm heavy, I'm staying heavy.
Yeah, we ready for the Cold War.
So my go-to, and in fairness, it might not sound great off the rip, but every time I get it, and like if somebody tries it, they're like, man, actually, it's a really good pizza. So I'm a big fan of the white sauce, the garlic sauce.
Okay. What,
not like red.
Alfredo?
Yeah.
I think he's gonna say some white shit.
not like just red pizza sauce. Like I like there's usually like a garlic.
Oh yeah, I got you.
So I go with that.
Yeah.
Chicken.
Yeah.
Onion.
Yeah.
Mushroom.
It wasn't crazy as I thought.
I'm not mad at it.
It's not crazy. So like close it out. Are you Hawaiian pizza?
No, I don't do that.
No pineapple.
Don't put no pineapple on my pizza.
Stop
when
doing
I pull
that.
them off, the pineapple, you
juice,
still
man.
taste the
Yeah.
pineapple.
So you're not so pineapple on pizza. No way. So
No,
how do you feel about pineapple in general though? Because some people
I
say
knocked down a pineapple.
well, because some people say I don't like hot pineapple, and that's their issue with the pizza.
Oh.
Because it's hot on the pizza.
Yeah.
But I'll F up some pineapple if it's on like a kebab.
My man's out. F up.
Like you throw some pineapple in there with like some steak and then some veggies.
I'm weird. I don't like sweet and savory.
Pineapple got to be cold.
Yeah.
Gotta be
so
cold.
you're not like
my fruit has to be cold.
So not on like anything. There's nothing you would like pineapple on if it's hot.
Nope.
Fair enough.
Well, speaking of fruit, man, I went to Whole Foods the other day and bust down a watermelon.
The whole thing.
Hey, the whole thing. She's like, "You bought it for the house." Hey, the blackness in me took over. I couldn't hold it back.
I love watermelon.
I bust that whole watermelon down. Whole Foods watermelon.
I got another quick story for y'all because Malik and I were talking the other day.
Malik Scott?
Shout out to Malik Montgomery.
Malik Montgomery.
What's his record now? Whatever it is.
5-0.
10-0.
10-0.
Fighting for NABO, I believe June 30th.
That was your first title.
31st.
NABO.
Yep.
Where at?
I don't know. It is a PBC card.
Ooh, okay.
Malik coming up.
We pulling up. We pulling up to. Oh,
Hey,
look at
look how young he is in his
Hey, he
picture.
look like he on a wave cap.
Yeah,
he look like the wave caps.
If y'all pull him up,
He looks like he's
in
in.
case y'all want to know what we looking at, we
Stomping
looking
the
at his
yard or
box
something.
rec, Malik Montgomery. But he don't look like that no more. He got the hair out now. He feeling this 10-0.
Yeah,
You
rightfully
feeling this
so.
10-0.
So what's your other story? So you Malik?
So we at the gym and we're talking about he's talking about losing weight and all that kind of stuff. And I said, man, once you start really cutting and you get for real, you start eating some stuff you ain't never ate before. Yeah. He said, yeah. So we start talking about some foods that we didn't like before we started, having to change our way of eating and stuff like that. And I said, man, my last camp, I actually started eating a watermelon. Never ate watermelon my entire life. And this
What?
And this Sebastian,
What? I'm also disgusted.
Sebastian Formella fight.
Okay.
Whatever the case may be, I started eating watermelon, and my dad was like, the only thing my dad had in his refrigerator was watermelon. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna suck it up, and I don't like it, but I'm gonna eat it.
Let me ask, because I think people will be curious. I know I am. So like, you didn't eat watermelon during
Ever.
cutting weight, or you just never liked watermelon?
Never liked watermelon.
Interesting.
Ever.
I'm disgusted.
Never.
Hey,
ever.
what do you put on top of your watermelon?
Nothing.
Okay, yeah, I know. This is a Southern thing. Salt on top of your watermelon. Game changer.
Really?
Hey, Carson.
You haven't tried
Game
it.
changer.
Try it out.
Well, the long story short is once so leading up to the fight, night before the fight, I'm smashing it, and I'm like, this changed my life. Yeah. I get home from camp and all that, watermelon in the house. I'm like, oh yeah, let me check it out. Oh hell, I'm back to not liking watermelon. Locked in. So yeah, when I was locked in.
If you're gonna get fruit, you got to go to Whole Foods.
Yeah.
I got 4 bags of food, cost me $200, which was crazy.
It's crazy, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
So we really are gonna end on these. I have 2 more food things. One I think you'll appreciate. So I mentioned last week Mumbo sauce. I told the people I was gonna try it.
Bring it through. Bring it through.
No, we ain't trying. No,
I was told there was a caveat that he would not try unless I watched Fatherhood.
Oh yeah.
Which I will not. Yeah. So he will not have the Mumbo sauce. I won't.
It's official.
It is. That sauce is so damn tasty. It's like
that movie was so damn good.
So let me entice you a little bit. So it's my cousin Drew. Shout out to Drew. He also confirmed there's Hot Sauce Williams aspects to it.
Okay.
Because it's not like a hot sauce, and it's not like a barbecue sauce. It's like kind of a hybrid, which that's what the original Hot Sauce Williams sauce was.
I missed that.
But yeah, so it was really good. But
I'll check that out.
One thing that I didn't have until we moved to Vegas is cotton candy grapes. That was like, you talked about like the salt on watermelon being like a game changer. You still haven't had them?
No.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of them.
When somebody says, "Oh, it tastes just like whatever," 9 times out of 10 they're lying. Yeah. And so they're like, "Oh, it tastes like cotton candy." I was like, "Oh, F you, it doesn't taste like damn cotton candy." I've had grapes before. It doesn't taste like damn cotton candy. Yeah. I tried it and I was like,
I know what you said. Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah, and I was like,
hey, I'm black. I don't want nothing that reminds me of cotton.
Nah, here you go.
I tried those damn cotton candy grapes and I was like, I'll be damned, that is a tasty grape. And so I've spread the word. So if you haven't tried them, find cotton candy grapes.
Start the music. Yeah. We in on cotton
Hey,
candy grapes.
the Fat Boys are back.
Somebody also wants to know. Somebody also said, when are you going to spar the Fat Boys? Because they keep testing you.
no, I want no problems.
You already know what
we said the other day, guy in our group was trying to get you in the ring. Yeah. I said, I'll spar both of y'all before I let y'all.
Yeah, I'll fight him, but I ain't fighting Sean.
That'll end all bad.
You already know what I'm doing. Go ahead and Google Larry David passing out on Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm fainting immediately.
Well, that's the Porter Way Podcast. Showtime Sean P, Ant Bernard, Carson A. Merck. Y'all have a blessed day. What's up? I'm Showtime Sean Porter.
I'm Ant. Follow me on IG, Ant with 2 T's.
This is the Porter Way Podcast. This is Anthony Bernard, and this is Carson A. Merck. Tell them what to do.
Hey, like, subscribe, comment, follow us on all social media platforms.
Subscribe.
I'm from Louisiana. I'll talk with a B. Let's do it. Let's do it again. All right.
Just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then you tell them what to do.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Porter Way Podcast.
You're already here.
Hey, this is our outro. We're going to do it how we want to.
I'm Showtime Sean Porter.
I'm Anthony Brendaugh.
Carson A. Merck. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.